Dear friends, dear students, veteran students, new students, I'm very happy to be speaking to you towards our upcoming convention, our meeting in LA. It's a special place for us to hold a convention with a special country in a special place, and you are special. We learn at a very special time as well. Our world is showing us two opposite phenomenons. On the one hand, we're all becoming increasingly separate from each other. People are locking themselves in their own apartments, drawing apart from others behind their computer screens or their smartphones. We are beginning to feel more and more isolated on the one hand. On the other hand, the world is becoming increasingly globalized. Nature as a system is closing in on us, showing us that we're all interconnected, that the boundaries between nations don't really exist anymore. The governments are no longer in actual control of the people. It's all becoming like a small global village. And at such a state, we need to realize what Kabbalah tells us, that all in all, we need to all become one global nation, one global people. And so I'm very happy that this convention is taking place in America, and a country that can set an example for humanity, showing how to connect different types of groups and factions and nations together. And it is a process that needs to take place, but we can see that over the last century this country has achieved a lot, and nevertheless came to a point where there's no other place in the world where people who are so separate, so far apart, so isolated began to feel that they belong to a common shared nation. The future of the world, as we see it, is all about collaboration and connection. It's about being one, becoming one. We have to correct what happened in Babylon. We all originate in there. We also learn from Kabbalah that there was one vessel that was broken to pieces, and our entire reality in this world is required only to regroup the pieces from this world, from the very bottom of this entire broken Kli vessel, to begin to group together all the pieces and connect them. And so our convention will be sort of an initial practical action of all that you've studied, of all that you've heard, perhaps more than once, about how do we start grouping together some of those broken pieces between us. And when we see that we put pieces together, one part and another part, suddenly they both begin to shine together, and then you add more pieces and there's greater light. Alone, each part is dark. When we begin to connect them, there's light. And so these pieces, as they become greater and more inclusive and more collective and shine with light, this is what we call souls. And those souls begin to unite to one collective soul, where we begin to discover the upper force that sustains the entire system, which is called the Creator. It comes from the word come and see, boreh, and which means we have to discover this force in actual sense. And so in order to discover the Creator, in order to discover our spiritual level of life, we have to connect. And this connection can't just be airy in the clouds and only virtual. We have to use what was set up for us here in this world. And so our world is set up in a way that we have to use our possibility to meet together, and as we see each other and spend time, a few days together, we can make that first contact of connection happen between us. I am very much expecting this meeting. I'm expecting to see you all. I foresee a great progress that will come from that, and I'm delighted that our preparations are moving forward, and I'm inviting all of you. Don't miss out on this opportunity to discover the Creator and the connection between us. Come, and we'll do it in practice.